Jelena.
Qalile song. Okay, let's get into it. Welcome y'all to my YouTube channel. It's your regular boy, Man to the E, aka Fleazy, aka Fuego. So excited today, man. I got like I was anticipating for this guy. Like I was so like really I wanted to have him on the podcast. A bit of who he is if you don't know him. So one thing that I really admire about him is the fact that he founded his own like entertainment. You know, when you go to his bio, there's TV, there's presenting, and also you've been in the sport search list. Man, he's done quite a lot of things, and that's very inspiring. But I want him to like really get into it by himself. So just take us through that.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's the one and only village boy popping Kaskini Sahotura. Man, I really appreciate that to actually get to invite me here, you know. Yeah, man, you know, like Lisolethu Sihlahla is just like a resolute, determined, you know, obviously, man, guy grew up in the villages and also just moved to Cape Town, you know, when he was actually 16, you know. But just growing up there, man, you know, like I've always had a vision of being part of the entertainment industry, you know, like through acting, all that stuff, you know, presenting until I got to move to, you know, CBT and stuff. But yeah, I think it has always been the passion. Like it's something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid, like at the age of 11, 12, you know, just.
Yo, that's too early, bro.
Yeah, man. You know,
do you like have like a vivid moment where you like, this is the time? Yeah. And how was the feeling? How was like everything when you thought like, this is a epiphany, like I really want to do this?
Yeah. So yeah, man, like the feeling of really want to do it or pursue it for like the rest of my life was actually like in primary school, because like I actually had teachers who got to tell me that, okay, cool, you are so good at this acting thing, like why don't you just further on and pursue this thing, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, man, I think one thing that has actually got to instill this certain mindset to me that, you know, this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life is just about how I felt, you know, doing it. Like I felt really alive. You know, like I can literally do anything, but when it comes to this thing, I just feel different and have that feeling of nervousness. Like dog, it's
dope.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, man. And the fact that like teachers like because I also grew up in the Eastern Cape. Yeah. But from where I come from, it's not really like something that is being instilled to kids like, to go for entertainment. And I would really like the type of school that you were in, was it something that is like based on arts or was just a regular school?
Well, I would say it was sort of a regular school, man. But I think I had the privilege to just have teachers who actually got to tell me that, you know, you're good at this thing and you can pursue it. I think not a lot of people like that, you know, because just growing up that side, like just outside of school, just the life outside of school, like a lot of people used to tell me that, you know, this is not going to work out.
Definitely.
You know, on TV, how can you make it on TV, on screen, and all that stuff.
All of that,
yeah. So yeah, man, I think just having the teacher to tell me that you can be able to pursue this, and just those few people, just apart from everyone else, telling me, man, it was really something good. I think it was just a point of just that specific person seeing it through me rather than the environment.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's all about.
So like the move, because I feel like when you really move from the Eastern Cape, because like the Eastern Cape is sort of like conserved, like not most things. You don't really get to see a lot of things. What would you say are the things that when you got to Cape Town, you're like, this is different, like this is new, I've never seen this before?
Yeah, man. So let me just start from growing up in the village. Obviously, I think there was no accessibility to things, you know, like I would actually, you know, just sit in my room and be like, damn, man, you know, I wish I would have so much access to this. But yeah, when I got to Cape Town, man, even if you live in the township, like when you live in the Western Cape, there are many opportunities that you can be able to access. It's just all about availing yourself to them and just going really hard, man. So yeah, when I got here, I think like, you know, at the age of 16, I got to make my TV debut, got to interview like a certain kind of notable people, like celebrities and stuff, and got to partake in politics as well. And I was living in the hood. So yeah, man,
That's dope, man.
Yeah, just being in Cape Town and just being in the hood can actually change your life, man. So
that's, like most people don't really see that, you know, for the fact that you like saying that township is a place where you. I feel like most people don't see the opportunities in the hood. Yeah. And for me, I would say when I got here, it was a matter of like self-realization because like at Eastern Cape, I was really kind of like an outcast, you know, in a sense that I want to pursue this and like it's only just education, all of that. And you spoke about something very, very, I don't want to just go past that. Yeah. You said something very, that I thought, okay, I need to hear more about this, that you've interviewed like one of the like prominent people. Yeah. Do you mind mentioning those people and tell us like what did you learn from those experiences? Okay, so I think, I moved to Cape Town, you know, in 2019. And after that, you know, made my TV debut. So I was actually invited into this other theater that's actually in Kailicha, you know, like it's like, you know, a shop theater where they actually have all these plays and stuff. So I went there. Then there was this other guy called Hamilton Dlamini. I think, you know, the guy is really notable. He has been, you know, like to a lot of, you know, good series and stuff from Isitembi. So, you know, all these great, you know, great plays and stuff. But you know, like, just being there, man, to experience them live and just having a conversation with them was really a massive thing for me, especially from the transition of being from the village and just coming to the township. Then, this whole thing like just happens.
Bro, yeah, I was like, damn, man, this is, you know, obviously, because you literally, you know, watched him do his thing and stuff. So it was really a big moment for me, man. You know, obviously because I usually see him from TV and stuff. But man, it was good.
Yeah. Would you say that like I see it, you know? Yeah. Probably let me just say from the Eastern Cape perspective, there was this mind of like saying that like Ikailicha is the hub of like most entertainers. Would you say is it?
Well, yeah.
Maybe why is that? I think.
Hey man,
why does it seem as if like Ikailicha has this like hub of like entertainers and all of this?
Man, honestly, I wouldn't really, you know, point out a specific thing actually, but what you're saying is very true, man. Like, you know, that's actually the place where you get to find one of the most prominent people in the industry and stuff.
Definitely.
You know, man, I think Ikailicha is way too supportive. You know, they actually strive for us, right? If they need something, you know, they value the art. They really value it a lot in certain things, you know. So I think it's just the mindset of just growing up in Ikailicha and being instilled this certain mindset of being able to thrive. I think if you feel like you need something and you feel like something's not right, then you gotta, you know, work for it and just make sure that people, you know, access that and stuff.
So, the psychology, man, of people getting to like seeing Esikas is this type of system that is oppressing. It's hard. I feel like any part of life is different. Now, Pina, wherever you can go, there's definitely some hardship. And true. I feel I want to hear from you. Like for me, I feel like I'm here to learn from you because I feel like you've already done some things that I can point to, like, hey, this guy went through this and this. For. How do you then deal with like the backlash or the failures that you might get into or have already experienced? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, honestly, man, I think like everyone has that certain moment whereby obviously you just experience the contempt and stuff, whereby just like, damn, man, I'm not really that good in whatever I do. But I think the motivation actually comes from, to be honest, all the stuff that I've done, you know, like, and also the reason why I'm doing it. Because one thing I've realized, man, is that like what I'm doing, you know, certain people see themselves through me with it. So when I think, okay, cool, now I'm supposed to quit or something, I always think out of the box and be like, damn, like if I quit, you know, like how about the certain people, man? You know, Because if I quit, obviously they will also feel like it's not possible.
For sure.
Because I've started something.
For sure.
And kids from the hood actually see myself through from that.
Definitely.
So yeah, man, I think that's actually what motivates me and stuff.
You take like what you've accomplished and
yeah,
and I feel like that's really important, man.
Yeah.
For the fact that if you realize your purpose, you definitely understand that there are certain destinies of people who are attached to that.
Yeah.
Not saying that you're gonna be their savior, but you are the one who's already paved the way for that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
And I think I want to speak about something current. You know,
okay, sure.
something that I think most people, like as the youth, man, I feel like I feel like the youth, we should create our own institutions. You know, if we feel like the media is not providing what we want to see, let's get up and do it. True. You are the person who's doing that. Yeah. Amazing, dog. So I want us to go through this because like there's also like this involvement between like politics and media.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my own personal, but I want to hear from you about the AKA issue. You know, like it's really something that when I got to hear that it went to Parliament, there was politics involved behind this. For me, is how then do I deal when I get into media? And then obviously when you're big, you're gonna have to have a certain ideologies and values that you put out there. Yeah. How am I gonna deal with this whole politic side of media? Have you like seen that scene, or if you haven't seen it, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think the most important thing about all this, you know, the politics and media and how to separate it, has to actually come from, you know, knowing the purpose of what you're doing. I think that's one thing I can say, man. Like a lot of people who are into this industry and music and all that stuff are more caught up into how they appear rather than why they are doing what they're doing. So yeah, you can be able to dark that. You can be able to dark it if you just make sure that you separate your personal life and just focus on what you're doing, which is just the music and the significance of it, like what you're really doing. Because I think a lot of people now are actually caught up into being like superstars and just involving everything about themselves into the media and stuff. So obviously, if you do that, people get the attention, then you know,
definitely people are they're in it for the money. Yeah, the money is important. Yeah, you know. I remember you posting something about like that, but you said, man, I saw this dude. You said you should look at the money, you know, more than the passion. I want you to explain it because I feel like it's really important. Especially if it comes from you because you are already in the space. So what did you mean about that?
Okay, so the post was you have to look at the money from a job than a passion. Then my caption was that would never be me.
Okay.
That's what I said. I mean, that would never be me because. That would never be me because there's no purpose of me living if I have to chase the money and not the fulfillment of my heart of what I'm doing. You know, I don't really give a fuck about money, man. I'm just one person who's like that. Like, obviously, I need the money and stuff.
Definitely.
But, you know, I've actually experienced, you know, certain things and, you know, obviously just chasing the money and stuff and just be like, damn, this is not really it.
It's not really
it's not. Just the kind of fulfillment that you get from something that you love doing. Is, you know,
way
what
beyond.
matters. It's way beyond. Because one thing I've realized, man, I've always had a conversation with certain people like who are like 30 above and all that, you know, and the conversation I've had with them, you know, I actually got to ask them like, what's going on, man? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know, certain people just tell me, I am actually just surviving now. I'm not really living. Like, what's happening? It's because I actually wanted to be an artist. I wanted to rap, wanted to do that. But now I'm actually working and I don't get the sense of fulfillment from what I'm doing. And yeah, man, you know, just having that experience from people and just hearing what they say, I was like, damn, I want to make sure that I stick into what I'm doing and just the fulfillment of it, you know, because obviously, man, we have certain different backgrounds. So I just have to check the money more and stuff. But yeah, man, I think, yeah, a lot of people are surviving than living. You know, they're just surviving.
You can say that again.
You can say living through and don't really have that sense of excitement and motivation anymore, which is actually what makes you like a happy person and stuff.
For sure.
So yeah, man, I think chase the passion.
But for me personally, I think this is not for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, like chasing your passion is not really for everyone. So for people who don't really feel that they should chase it, it's fine.
Yeah.
You can kill on
just do your thing. Just get the money. If you feel like that's not good for you.
If that's gonna fulfill you, go for that.
Yeah.
I want to speak about because we didn't speak about how your family reacted to this whole thing. Because after you were done with school, you didn't pursue university, didn't pursue college. So how was your family getting to understand what's happening with this dude?
Okay, so this is actually how it happened with my mom. I think, my mom has always been that kind of person. She has like a very strong belief in me, man. Like if I do something, my mom would always be like, I know that if you're doing that, then you're actually doing it for a purpose. And I trust your decision behind that. I'm like, Mom, come on, I'm just young, dude.
Shout out to your mom.
But every decision that I took, she supported me into it. Because even at school, I had certain people, certain teachers who told me, just go for this, go for that, which is not the arts and stuff.
Definitely.
And I had a conversation with my mom about that, and she was just, about just go for what you really want to go for. I just trust whatever decision you take. So when I decided not to go to school after high school, she was like, yeah, sure, just do something that you feel like is gonna be good for you. Then everything just started to go well.
That's dope. Most parents don't do that. Most parents don't do that. For me, man, I feel like definitely the most amazing thing is the fact that I feel like experiences do give you that sense of learnership. Yeah. Because you really learn from what you experience, and then you are able to look at both sides and then make that decision in between. Yeah. Yeah, your mom did a good job there.
Man, that was really great of her. And stuff, man. But I really appreciate that it was actually that kind of mom to me and stuff, and just having a strong belief, because she tell me all the time that that you are really a pointed out person. That's one thing I can say. You're destined to be great. You're different and all that. Sure. Just that obviously coming from her was really good for
amazing,
me. All that stuff. Yeah, man. I think just let the kids do what what they gotta do, obviously, with your guidance as well.
Definitely, by all means.
They do the
by all means. I think one of the person who was pushing that in the industry was Ricky, man. Like Rick was really behind getting the youth to be out there. And I feel like his death kind of, I don't know whether it was a blessing or a curse, but Ricky was really, because for me personally, I feel like we are the future. Therefore, we should create this future that we have, and let us do this thing. Sure. Don't push us back. Just let us be. Okay. Obviously, we should be controlled because we have a lot of energy. We're still young. So I think that's really something that it should be pushed out there. And I also want to speak about the interview that you had. Was it? Oh, you were on the Daily Dispatch. How did that make you feel?
Yeah, that was great. That was really nice. Obviously, just the acknowledgement from people actually coming from Eastern Cape where I grew up. That was great, man. They just called me like, we'd love to interview you and speak about your story and stuff. That made me feel good. Just that people recognize the work. Okay. Yeah, man.
And another thing is that in this, the industry that you're in deals mostly with relationships.
Yeah.
How do you juggle? How do you release certain relationships? Do you have a mechanism behind that? How, if someone is listening, they're like, how do you deal with this?
Yeah. Man, honestly speaking, it's not really that much of an easy thing to do, because like in the industry, man, it's really not an easy thing, because just maintaining those relationships and stuff, because certain people just like to vibe with you or just be cool with you because they actually expect something from you. So they like to try be your friends because they want to gain from you, you know, your plugs, whatever, the money, all that stuff. Even the girls too. So it's really,
That's crazy.
Like it's really not an easy thing to separate sometimes, you know. But yeah, I think obviously, man, everything happens organically when it comes to friends. If I feel like your energy is not good, sure, you don't align with me. That's it. No, no reconciling and stuff. Yeah,
and that's really something that I also wanna, you know, I wanna have like proper relationships when I get there.
Yeah, bro.
Proper relationships where I can really learn from, because I feel like if you don't learn, man, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, true.
You don't really know what you're doing. And speaking about relationships, in a sense that, you know, when you get into the lights and all of these things, you know, you get to, for me, there's something that we forget, you know, in a sense that we always want to live in the moment. You know, we don't really think about what's the next thing.
Yeah.
And I'm always gonna reference your post because you normally post.
Yeah.
So I saw you posting like who's this guy again? He's a rapper, man, but I don't think like the youth really knows Umjit. Who's this guy? P.2.
Yeah.
And Blacklist, all those guys, you know. I feel like those guys kept certain values of like, if you're a rapper, it doesn't mean that you should be like out there. So for me, take me through that. Why are you like inclined to those type of things? And also, you also that person of family and all of that. Why is that inclination in the type of industry that you're in? Why do you have that mindset?
Like, not like mindset. Why? Like I actually point out Peter or I think. Yeah, it's actually been years I've got to actually encounter them, man. But one thing I love about them, I think, it has to be the authenticity of how they feel. They're not, you know, all about everything that's out there and stuff. Yeah, man, because they actually get to portray how they feel and just the feeling of being vulnerable. Because not everyone is like that, you know. Not everyone can actually portray that feeling of vulnerability and not being perfect on a song. So that, I feel like people actually relate more when you show your true self into the music and stuff. So I got to relate into them because, you know, they obviously speak about how they feel and stuff, how they grew up and everything they're experiencing. Because music obviously is just about reflecting the times that you exist in now or your experiences and stuff. I love that about them, their experiences, you know, speaking about their personal selves.
Vulnerable. And the amazing thing is the fact that how the way they can put like a whole experience in one song.
In one song. That's amazing. And also the second thing has to be like how they actually portray what they see is happening in the world right now. Like, you know, they're able to voice that out and what they feel like is not good, you know, what they feel like can be fake and just the politics of music, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, man, I think that's what I love about them. That's
dope. That's dope. Sometimes I do shy away from that because like we're not really inclined to those things in terms of like how the media, because I don't really see P.2 and Blacklist like I see other artists. So I feel like those guys are really important in that sense. And putting those values and really getting. And the other thing that I really see is once you start to fight for your own, I don't want to say soul, but your own anatomy in the industry, there's a certain pushback. You know? Because now you are thinking of yourself. I spoke about on my previous episode, I spoke about Kanye, you know, when he was really saying, this is me now, I'm moving away from the establishment, I'm moving all from that. There's a certain like bad energy, negative energy of that. And then I feel like people who don't want to try that because Abandu, they're going to be very negative about that. So those guys really have something that is really significant and very, very important. And I want to move on to like the ultimate vision of the Soul Entertainment. Do you want to make this like a full production, or you just want to focus on it making just music videos? What is the ultimate vision? Or is it too early to ask?
Man, one thing I'll tell you, like, this is, this is more than just music videos. Obviously, I think it actually comes from the vision that I had of creating movies and just going global and stuff.
Sure.
So, yeah, the whole vision of entertainment is to create eccentric stuff that people can relate to. Because obviously, it's the same thing I said about the township.
Sure.
I feel like a lot of people are actually portraying much the violence and all that stuff.
Sure.
Not necessarily like the psychological or the emotional part of doing that.
I always say there's always good and bad.
Yeah.
You can always learn from the bad, you can always learn from the good. And
yeah,
you can both learn from those things. Do you read books? Not that much.
Not that much, yeah.
But you do have like certain books that you...
Yeah, I actually read, this one book, yeah.
You can't just say this one book. I want to hear the book.
Okay, so this is A Song of Ice and Fire, man. A Song of Ice and Fire, right? So
can you tell us more about that book?
It's A Song of Ice and Fire is more relative to Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Yeah, so it actually started from that.
Sure.
Like, way before it came series and stuff. Just like a novel,
Sure.
Yeah, man, I read that and it has so much of engraved stuff, like a lot of things that are so significant.
Sure.
I learned so much from that, So yeah, man, I read that book, and it's really great.
Sure. And how do you then fish for this knowledge? Because like most people would think that you're well read.
Yeah.
You just said it's only just one book, like from because I said I'm here to learn from this guy.
Yeah.
Because once you want to learn from someone, you think that they've went through a learnership or study. How do you get your information?
Damn. Okay, hey man. Okay, so the information that I have, I got to get it from, obviously the experiences. And okay, the experiences, and let me just speak about that first.
Sure.
I think just being able to put myself into the most unfortunate experiences, knowing that they're actually unfortunate.
Sure.
I'm able to put myself in a position whereby I know I'm gonna starve or I'm gonna, actually experience the worst thing. But the reason why I'm doing that is all because I want to learn from it.
Sure.
And also, yeah, man, I think it came from that, and also daring to question. I think a lot of people don't do that. Dare to question. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room, dude, but just questioning to people that you actually feel like, damn, okay, cool, this person has experienced that.
Sure.
I'll actually ask you, what's going on, man? Yeah, sure. What motivated you to do this? How was it and stuff. So yeah, daring to question, it came from that. The experiences came from that, and also the music, bro. How can I not speak about that? Like,
definitely.
I swear to God.
Definitely,
like I always say this, the music can influence how you think, man. Like the music that I grew up listening to and that I'm listening to right now, but like hip hop changed the way that I think, man.
You can say that
like,
again.
It really shaped me as such
a bro.
So it really came mostly the music, I would say, obviously, and all the stuff that I've watched and the stuff that I watch.
Sure. Well, what would you define art as from your own perspective? Like, this is, I know maybe you didn't think about it, but like, how would you define art as?
I always define art as an emotional truth. So art,
emotional truth.
Yeah. So art is actually someone's emotional truth. So it's my own emotional truth, and I'm actually sort of interpreting that truth into something that people can see and experience. Sure. So it's my own truth, just my own emotional truth.
Hey. What are the things that you like stand firm in? Like if there's a storm, if obviously if there's a storm, what's things that you really stand firm in and they don't shake at all?
Yeah, obviously. Okay, so you're actually speaking about the principles.
Sure, definitely the principles.
The morals and all that stuff.
Sure. Yeah,
man. I actually like to believe that just standing for what's right still. I think I've been speaking about this, like it's all about standing for what I believe is true, no matter what happens or no matter how much it may cost me.
Sure.
And yeah, and also portraying my own emotional truth.
Sure.
So yeah, it's all about that, man. I think it's standing for what's right. In so many ways. Obviously, there are so many ways that you can actually stand for what's right.
Sure.
You know, so anything that I can say about my values will actually come from, or will actually link to the same thing, or just standing for what's right. So, yeah.
Cool. That's amazing, man. That's dope. And I feel like that's what like most artists should have, you know, in a sense that have values, have morals, and really get to understand why you're doing things. There's always a why in things, you know. Why you're doing this? Why am I getting into this? Why am I even with this people? Why I'm even getting into the industry, you know? And I really see that as a way forward with anything that you may be like going through, and that you may think it's a stumbling block. Yeah. And for me, I would say, what would you say to a or you've already spoken about that, but in a sense that how do you then define like the work that you do to a person? I don't know this. How do you define it? Do you speak about it in what you're doing, or you speak about what's behind what you're doing? How do you explain your work to a person who's like, when's I'm doing it?
Yeah, I think I honestly I just speak about what's behind it. Mostly I speak about what's behind it and the reason why I'm doing it. But also at the same time, you know, man, I love to give people the free reign of actually saying what I'm doing and interpret that the way that they want to interpret it, you know, because I don't want to always be like, okay, I'm doing this, and you know, people actually get to be in sync with me with this. They can be able to interpret it their own way. But I am so keen to know, like, what are you saying from this? Like, the way that you're saying me do what I'm doing, what do you think about this? You know, what do you think? How does it make you feel?
How does it make you feel?
I think, it's all about giving people that free reign. But if they ask me and it's all about me, I think I just get to, you know, give them insight of how I feel about it. And also you give me an insight of how you feel.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. And there are certain things that you really mentioned which are important. The psychology of what gets into the hood. I feel like sometimes, you know, as guys, you know, I feel like we should speak to ourselves in a sense that we shouldn't let the gas system like consume us. You know? And how for me, I feel like you've you've bypassed that system, you know, because that negative side of it, you didn't really look at it. How would you say a young guy should move away from that system?
Okay, can you please repeat that?
I want you to tell a young guy who's like asking themselves, how do I then, like, I know there's violence, there's certain people who are doing bad things, but they are put in the pedestal. How do I avoid that? And also, if I'm avoiding it, how is the negative side of that? How do I deal with, even because I'm gonna avoid, people are gonna be like, when's alone? How do I deal with that? Because I feel like you've already done it.
Yeah, I think that will still link to the same thing of, it's all about having values, you know, it's all about having values and setting out the values and just knowing how to tackle certain things and just standing for the truth of things, you know. So
you are speaking as if I don't feel like it's an easy thing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't feel like, because if it was that, most people could have been doing it, dog.
Yeah.
Most people could have been doing it. So there is that, maybe you're not going to really explain it to that certain extent. Yeah. But for me, I just want to hear, okay, let me say, what are these values that you're speaking about? Can you mention at least these values that you think, okay, cool, you can. It's not saying this is the whole truth. You're just suggesting, because you've already like went through it. What are those things you say, okay, this value you can have, this value you can have, this value you can have?
Well, man, this is really a tricky one, because what you're actually speaking about is really something deep and stuff, and it's not easy, bro.
It's not easy, my dog. It's not easy, my dog.
Separation. At some point you just have to let in and be like, man, I don't know how to.
Sure.
It's just part of life. It's just part of life, man. And you cannot really. I don't think you can fully bypass that and be like, I'm stepping so aside from it. But I think, yeah, man. No matter what happens, but still stand firm to what you want to do, no matter how that. Obviously, it will affect you, and it will affect you, and you will experience it.
Sure.
But no matter what happens, just try to stick to that true thing. But at some point, one thing I'll say, man, is it's not easy. It will get to you.
Definitely.
It will get
it's
to you, man. And I cannot try to be a motivational speaker
for sure.
and say,
this for sure. It goes back to the experience, and then how do you then deal with that experience? Because like we can be exposed to the same thing, but we don't really see the same thing. And let's speak about something current. What do you think about the hip hop scene in SA currently?
Hey, I'm a coolers.
What do you think about the scene currently, and what do you think has changed? Is it something positive, something negative, and what do you think is it gonna be as time goes?
One thing I can always say, man, like there's not much I will say, but yeah, I see the scene right now. It's more about the trap and all that stuff. But one thing I can only say is that, this industry, has, certain, stages or certain parts of it. If you want a certain specific part of the music, you can always get it if you fish for it. So I see the industry, it's not really how it used to be and stuff. Definitely. I cannot complain about that. Times change. But if you really want the true or the authenticity of it, you can find it if you really want to. I cannot say, I miss real rap, like a lot of people should be rapping and saying a lot of, all that stuff.
Conscious things and
conscious things. Yeah. I mean, yeah, man, that's great. I would love that, but you can be able to find conscious people if you want to.
Yeah.
Because also at the same time, I used to be more of a conscious person and used to hate all all the trap stuff and stuff. But also at the same time, I also understand, it also comes from the sense of I don't really want to be hung like that.
Yeah.
Nigga, you're gonna start with a month.
You need to have it when you're a conscious rapper. You gotta have a job on the side.
You gotta have a job.
You gotta have a job on the side.
You gotta maybe have a 9 to 5 and check us out.
Do something about that. Yeah, man. The hip hop scene for me right now is really something. It's so diverse.
Yeah.
And there's this. People say there's this mix of boom and hip hop, and people say it's underground. Would you say? Because there's a post that I saw that like Brother Cooper is redefining the underground rap. Is no, I'm like, no, this guy is. I feel like he's mainstream.
That guy is mainstream, dude. He's not underground.
Like, he's not underground.
He's not underground. He's not. He's
for
not.
Sure.
The fact that he did, make so much impact, I agree with that. But he's not underground.
He's not underground.
He's not underground. He's
and the fact that for sure, and people are fishing for that from the international side, because like the boom and the hip hop, and also I feel like do you think we have a specific type of hip hop in SA?
I used to think so, but now I don't really know anymore because we're not sticking into it anymore.
What was that? You see, okay, this is really defining us as South African hip hop.
South African hip hop, I would say more. Okay, like let me just try to speak of two sort of genres that I believe in like subgenres of hip hop.
Sure.
So yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, I think the Motswako stuff and just the all the stuff about people really speak so much truth in their own languages. I really got to think Motswako is our thing and just all that. Also,
it's amazing that you speak about that.
Yeah, and also the African trap. I think African trap got to really define us in a way.
Sure.
I thought African trap, the you know, the MT stuff. You know, it was really different. Like, I thought that's going
definitely.
to last for a while.
For sure, I definitely thought these guys were beyond their time.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that, man, because it was really different. Like, the way that people used to travel, like, you know, all the stuff. But now, if people do that, it's kind of ridiculous.
It's kind of ridiculous.
A lot of people won't really pick that up. You're trying to trap, like, roll up in 2025. Nigga.
Hey, like, please, dog.
You cannot be rap
and with that, you know, like, Usaud is one of the guys that I feel like people don't really see his, you know, people are really balele, I would say. Balele Usaudi. And maybe it's something that is from inside, or is it us? I don't really know. Because for me, I'm a fan of a guy, you know. And what made me a fan was his aesthetic. It was just beyond his time. It was just beyond his time, you know. And I feel like with Usaud, his trap was not really the trap that we were used to in SA. At that time, people were, for sure, they were like, hey, what's happening with this guy?
Yeah, true.
And then he also taps into the vernac. Does the vernac, you're like, this guy is really doing something like that. And also, do you think, because I feel like Ambitious really had a huge impact in the industry. Do you think we should have like record labels like that more prominently, or you just think, just do your thing independently?
Okay, yeah. But just apart from the business side of it, but that is very important, man. Like, you know, what was being done by Ambitious Records, like, was really significant. You know, in terms of shaping the whole sound, they changed everything into the game. So yeah, I think that sort of guidance and like more of a collaborative mindset into one thing is everything. It's all about, you have legendary people into one place doing a certain, you know, and you know, a certain, you know, kind of thing. I think,
I think for sure that's what we're missing in hip hop. Because like I'm a PR, it's so huge because I collaborate and I'm
way to collaborate.
Amazing. And we should have things like that in the industry, man. I think we should have people who are really, and also speaking about, do you think, because I don't think that there's a financial plan for like artists. They are not really, there's no, I don't want to put programs, but like there are no things, okay, say down, okay, cool. As an artist, you should understand this is how you then take care of your finances and all of that. And it does get into, like, to certain artists, they drop and then it's always in between. It's either the music or it's the money, you know. What do you think should be, like, for you, from what you have experienced, what do you think it's the most appropriate way of dealing with your finances as an artist?
Yeah, I think that'll still come from what I've actually said. It's all about just fishing much for the information. You know, the greatest way that you can deal with that is fishing the information and wanting to know how to deal with it. You can have your own way of how to deal with it, but let it be a proper way that won't put you in vain in the future. You know, so yeah, I think I wouldn't really specifically say, okay, do this. Okay, maybe, invest, There's so much ways of how to invest and all that.
South African scene, do you have people that inspire you, or, and also, what do you think about the movie scene in South Africa?
Hey man, you know, man, like, to be honest, we have a long way to go, and just put it like that. We like, in terms of the technicalities, like in terms of the equipment and editing, all the stuff, we are actually there. Like, it's good, you know. But when it comes to like the significance and just how more profound our stuff is, I think we just have a long way to go. I feel like in SA, we don't really have, like, you know, those kind of serious whereby it's just like, damn, this will make you really think out of the box, and obviously relative to the reality of just, you know, the township and stuff, because a lot of people come from that. Yeah,
definitely. And one thing that I really see about South African movies is always the hero is always the villain sometimes, because like these guys, like most movies, like robbing banks and that, And one thing I think people should realize is what TV is made for. It's made for programming.
Yeah.
So that thing programs you, and you're like, okay, cool. As much as I can be educated, I can get into this, but ultimately I have to be the villain to win.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you really getting into? And the fact that like for you to go up, you need to bring people down.
Yeah.
And that's a bad mentality, man.
It just makes sense. So
yeah, it doesn't at all.
Man, I think we just have to make sure that every stuff that you create, it reflects the times, man, and
Sure.
the experiences of people. I think we just more about the action and the violence,
Sure.
anything sort of enticing and stuff. But yeah, like honestly, like obviously, people don't really portray that much.
For sure, definitely.
But yeah, Mantla N, I really like what he's doing. It's great.
Sure.
The stuff is great.
I want to also move on to. What was I thinking? I was thinking. Oh, okay. How do you define work? Like, what is work for you? You know? Because soul, guys, he doesn't stay in one place. We are mover. We are mover put. So, how do you define work for you?
Okay, for me, work is just, I think it is just purpose, man. Like, it's what's needed of me to do. It's just seeing like what I have to do and the significance of it. That's work for me. I have to know the importance of the purpose that I'm doing. So yeah, work is all about that, man. It's not just about, it's
I woke up and then
I just get to work, I get my money, but it's just the significance of it. Okay, yeah. I'm working. Why am I working? How is this helping people? How is it helping me and stuff?
Sure.
So working also has to be about the sense of fulfillment to me as well. So I work for my own fulfillment, and also the work that I do is also more that's relative to the people who see themselves through me and stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, work's just purpose.
That's dope. And I feel like builders do think like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always think of like this is purpose. It's not just me waking up and then that's it.
That's it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, and I want to also get into if you have a perspective of the business side of media, what things that you think we should learn from it, or what things should we get into when we get into the business side of media?
Yeah, with the business side of media, man, that's really a tricky one. But yeah, I think the most important thing is just availing yourself to learn. And if you don't know something, it's all about stretching obviously your mind and stuff, all that. I think it's not just about being in style and that's it, but actually learning more about the business and stuff and all the stuff that you really want to do.
Sure.
That's one thing I can really say, man. With the business, it's not really an easy thing. I think a lot of people don't understand that. You see the space that we're in SA in terms of the business.
Sure.
Like you just have to make sure that you actually learn, and that's actually how you point yourself out from everyone.
Definitely.
That's actually how you can maintain it. Obviously you can have your own very vision of how you wanna put everything out there. Obviously business related, but it's all about just being hungry to learn stuff.
Hungry to learn.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what would you say that this question is always like something that I wanna ask people all the time. I also ask myself this question: what would you do differently from what you have like seen or what you have experienced, or you wouldn't want to change anything?
Let me just see what can I change. Damn, what can I change, dude? I'm doing good. This dude,
I'm telling you, no change, just one way. That's what it is. Okay, that's dope. That's cool, man. That's very, very amazing. And for a kid that is listening and watching your moves, what would you say is important for them as they grow up? Maybe probably someone that is like 15, 16. What would you say to them is important for them right now?
Okay, it's all about making use of what's in front of you, you know. Yeah, it's that, man. I think like when you're 15 and stuff, just having that hunger and wanting to know everything and wanting to access like everything that you have into your own disposal can change you. Dude, I swear to God. You know, I really swear to God. Because man, one thing I really like realized about knowledge and just obviously it does put you on top of the game. A lot of people just really respect you for it.
For sure.
And people, like when you're actually young and you have so much of the knowledge and you know so many things, people have this sense of feeling that, you know, when you were growing up, you were granted that knowledge. Learn so much to a certain extent whereby people think, damn, this kid was given everything. You know, he was given books growing up.
Only to find out you learned it.
But you got to fish for it, man. You got to fish for it. I think just that, you know, just that ambition of wanting to know everything and want to tap into everything can really change you.
Sure.
Making use of what you have, obviously, you know. Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like really getting to tap into the things that most people don't normally see.
Yeah.
As we spoke about, like the opportunities that people don't see in the hood.
Yeah.
You know? And I always say there's always good and bad.
Yeah.
You know, you can always learn from the bad, you can always learn from the good. And
yeah,
you can both learn from those things. Do you read books? Not that much.
Not that much, yeah.
But you do have like certain books that you.
Yeah, I actually read, this one book, yeah.
You can't just say this one book. I want to hear the book.
Okay, so yeah, this is A Song of Ice and Fire, man. A Song of Ice and Fire. Right? So
can you tell us more about that book?
It's A Song of Ice and Fire is more relative to Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Yeah. So it actually started from that.
Sure.
Like, you know, way before it came series and stuff. Just like a novel, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, man. I read that and yeah, it has so much of in-game stuff, you know, like a lot of things that are so significant.
Sure.
I learned so much from that, you know. So yeah, man, I read that book, you know, and it's really great.
Press, I was made for, and I still remember the people who died that they gon' pay for.